relief. But great stories, though. Much appreciated. Thank you very much for sharing yours. Right. We always have each year our little ode, which comes from Andrew in Brighton. This year is no exception. It would normally be "'Twas the Night Before Christmas," but of course, because "'Twas the Night Before Christmas" is tomorrow, and I won't be here tomorrow, it is going to be "'Twas Two Nights Before Christmas." So we have our little ode. I haven't seen it yet. I haven't heard it yet. We're about to hear it for the first time together. Always get excited for this. Mr. Russell, over to you. Me. Yeah, we're looking forward to this. Andy's ode from Brighton. Let's hear it. I'm looking forward to this all day.
'Twas 2 nights before Christmas, and Paul's feeling bold, for tomorrow he'll wear his new tights of gold. For if you recall that Santa last year gave Paul those gold tights to protect his derriere. As for many years past, Paul always helped Santa, delivering those toys and enjoying the banter. He would don his elf suit and fly dizzy heights, all dressed as an elf in saggy green tights. But those tights were so loose and often fell down, showing too much as he danced through the town. But gold tights were given to Paul last year. They were very expensive, they were ever so dear. To replace those old green ones that looked old and so baggy, that even good light showed them ever so saggy. So Paul's so excited as he opens the drawer, but went ever so pale with what he now saw. For those lovely gold tights that lay in neat folds are completely ruined and full of big holes. "For goodness sake," said Paul to himself, "what on earth will I say to my old mate Chief Elf?" And he held out those tights and the moths flew away, but one turned and burped and said, "Have a nice day." Now there's nothing so sad than gold holy tights, well, apart from red knickers in a washload of old whites. And a tear ran down Paul's rosy young cheek. "I need these now and not for next week." Paul stamped his feet and stamped some more, and then a loud knock was knocked on the door. "Who's that now? I don't need carols. If singers are there, I'll give them 2 barrels." But he opened the door, and his eyes opened wide. An old lady said, "Hello, dearie, can I come inside?" Said Paul, "No, sorry, no visitors, please. I have enough going on with the holes in these. My troubles are big, I don't need another." "But Paul, can't you see I'm your fairy godmother?" Said Paul, "What do you mean? You're having a joke. You can't make fun of this young bloke." "But Paul," she said, "think and recall. Think back 50 years when you were so small. I made a visit and gave you my word that I would be there if trouble occurred." Said Paul, "Cheeky mare, I'm no more than 40. She said, "All right, but you're still a shorty." "But nevertheless, I made a vow to be by your side when troubled like now." "Well, that didn't work. A terrible plan. Where were you when I failed each exam?" "But look at you now and the path you did go. If you passed those exams, there'd be no radio show." Said Paul, "The job's not hard. I just speak to myself, and each year help Santa and my mate Chief Elf. I suppose life is good and really not bad. There were other jobs I could have had. But at times I just think, now and then, I do just turn up at 10 to 10, then work 3 hours and turn some knobs. There really are some worse off jobs. But forget about my radio show. I need new tights with only 2 days to go. Time's running out with only 2 nights for me to start knitting some brand new tights. The gold ones are finished. It wouldn't be right, especially on such a cold night. My bottom will freeze, and that just won't do. Mind you, he thought, good for the loo. "No," said Paul, "I would catch my death. Don't worry," she said, "and call me Aunt Beth." Beth muttered some words and swigged some gin, saying, "Let's have some magic, let miracles begin." And in a flash, an elf did appear, Paul's best mate elf, one with one pointed ear. He grabbed the gold tight, shouting, "What holes in these cloths?" Paul said with a cry, "It's those blinking moths." The elf then added, "They're the worst I've seen, but here are your old ones, all saggy and green." Paul gazed at those tights as good old friends, not mattering if they had saggy ends. Yes, they were droopy and a little bit long, which would trip him up as he danced along, and if he bent right down in certain positioning, they looked as if he had air conditioning. But correctly dressed, he will be there and not helping Santa in his underwear. Now, feeling so tired, but ever so ready, Beth tucked him in bed with Paul's old teddy. Said Beth, "Please, Paul, always remember, this is a great time that we have in December." And Paul was so happy, and it brought on a tear, and said to Beth, "Please stay till New Year. It would be such fun if you know what I mean. Welcome me in 2017. I don't drink much, he said with a grin, but I detect from your breath that you like gin. Please stay, dear Aunt Beth, you'll really be missed. We could welcome the new year and we'd both get slightly drunk. And Aunt Beth did agree, and Paul did his chores by helping good old Santa Claus. He delivered those presents for the girls and boys, making sure they got all those toys. He worked so hard and felt jet-laggy in his faithful green tights, all saggy and baggy. So the moral to this, just smell your aunt's breath, for she may be a fairy godmother like Beth.
Hey!
Very good.
Yes,
very good.
yes.
What a clever man he is, eh?
'Twas 2 days before Christmas from Andy and Brian. Thank you so much for that, Andy. I don't think Andy's listening tonight. He's somewhere celebrating Christmas where he says you can't even get a phone signal, yet on anything else.
Oh.
But I'm sure he'll catch up on the iPlayer. But every year for the last maybe 5-6 years or so, maybe longer, we've had one of these little odes, and there'll be another one for the new year as well.
Oh, right.
There'll be another one for the new year. They're always a highlight. They're always something that I look forward to, and I get to hear them for the first time when you read it out. And the saggy tights, well, they've been around for years.
He has a fertile and creative mind, does Andy, doesn't he?
He does, yes. And as I said, the saggy tights.
The saggy tights.
Yeah, they've always been very much part of my Christmas attire, according to Andrew.
That's a recurring theme, is it? That's something we can't shake. And your old mate the elf as well, I presume?
Yes.
Yes, that's fabulous. And I didn't know you had a fairy godmother that stank a gin.
Well,
haven't we all?
Absolutely. And very well read as well. Brilliant.
Oh, breeze through.
Fabulous. And if you want to hear it again, it'll all be there, of course, on the iPlayer Radio just after 1 o'clock. Superb. Thank you very much indeed, Mr. Russell.
Thank you, sir.
Excellent stuff. And just gone 12 o'clock. Welcome to Saturday, which is Christmas Eve, which means that it's all about to happen. And in what? 24 hours' time, Mr. Claus will be making his way, without the saggy tights, down those chimneys, delivering those prezzies, but not for you, because you've been a naughty boy.
Oh, yeah, I've been a naughty boy, yeah.
You've been a naughty boy.
How long you got?
You'll be in actual fact, Father Christmas doesn't leave you presents. He leaves a note saying, I want some back.
Yeah.
Leave them in a sack.